Hello, folks. I'm Mike DeBruzzo.
And I'm Earl Dunn.
And we're the Dog Training Guys. This video is going to be an introduction to different types of protective gloves for our hands, which are used mainly when dealing with aggressive dogs. This video is to be taken seriously because it's really not for everyone. It's mostly geared towards the professional trainer, because the information we're going to show you is not going to be anything that's going to be a foolproof method to getting injured. There's still a serious risk when using any of these protective gloves on your hands. When you should be using these gloves is mainly going to be if you understand the risk involved and there really is not a better option, which doesn't involve physical contact with the dog's teeth on your actual person. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go behind the camera, and Earl's going to demonstrate a lot of these different types of gloves to give you an introduction of what's out there and some tips on how to use them the best way.
Okay, so we're going to start off with just some pretty short, basic gloves. We call these actually shorties. You can tell these gloves are pretty thin. They're not going to be that much protection, but they're going to offer a high level of dexterity. As you can see right here, it already has a penetration through it, so they're not foolproof. They're probably the least protective we have out there, and definitely not going to be offering that much protection from impact.
Yeah, that one's lined with Kevlar too. So don't be, just because you hear, oh, Kevlar, a dog's tooth went right through it. So
here we got the same amount of distance of the glove. It's only covering our hand. But it's a little bit higher gauge leather. It probably gives a little bit more padding in there, but again, it does offer some puncture resistance, but not bomb proof, okay? This is just a pair of gloves. It's not something that's going to be really, really high tech.
Better than nothing.
It's better than nothing, that's for sure. Then we move up the line here, a little bit more protection than just the actual hand. We have something here that actually offers like some upper arm protection. You'll see that it does have this leather, and it actually has this cool little feature, which is a deflector. It's made of leather as well, and sometimes the dogs will grab onto that rather than your actual fingers. Up here on the forearm, we do have some actual built-in padding, so that if the dog did bite it, it's not going to be biting into our flesh. Again, I wouldn't say this is the highest level of protection, but it's better than nothing. We keep moving up the ladder. We got something here again that's offering something for the hand and the upper arm. It has a little bit lower gauge leather, so it increases the dexterity level. It has this deflector though, which is nice. Most dogs, this is probably a better deflector than this one, so most dogs will grab this before they actually grab your fingers. You can see here it's gotten quite a lot of use. Actually is made with spectra underneath the actual leather, which is the last line of defense. This glove actually got some penetration through the leather, but not through the spectra.
Yeah, you could actually see a little blood stain on the spectra, just to see you can get injured. Dog bite there went through the leather, and the tooth went into the didn't penetrate the spectra, but still the indentation of the tooth scraped our skin really bad, and obviously broke the skin. No hospitalization needed, but we still got pretty injured there. We use those kind of gloves a lot. Like when it's just like we want to be better safe than sorry. We still got a lot of dexterity with those.
The nice improvement from this glove to this glove is over here we actually have a bite bar in the actual upper arm protection, which helps disperse some of the force from an actual bite. So it's not going to have that initial resistance or pressure in one specific location. It helps disperse it through the actual bite bar. Going up another level, here we kind of have a much heavier gauge leather, okay? It's got it's made of two different parts. There's an actual insert and an inner and an outer part of this glove. It's definitely one of the more padded gloves, but as you can see, like nothing else, it's not going to be bomb proof. It's got a huge puncture in it here. I actually got bit pretty well right in my knuckle here by a relatively small dog.
He was like 40 pounds tops.
If that. But he definitely had some big canines and a lot of fury when he actually bit. Again, not much dexterity. You can see there's only actually 4 slots for fingers here because they don't expect you to be using your fingertips and really manipulating things when you use these. Again, it has upper arm protection, but again, there's no bite bar in this one. It's mostly padding. Now when we're going for more protection into the upper arm, we have something called gauntlets. This one would be a Kevlar lined gauntlet, and it actually does have
a little bit of
neoprene on the inside of the gauntlet as well. Again, this is not bomb-proof. This is relatively thin, but it's better than nothing. It actually is nice when you use it in conjunction with one of the other products. If you wanted to grab one of these shorty gloves and combine that with an actual Kevlar gauntlet, might be nice before you actually put a jacket over it or something. It still wouldn't be totally exposed, but the two of these products together, I would say, would offer decent protection. Not going to be as weak as something by itself, but definitely not as strong as one of the more padded products. And then lastly, we have just a regular old neoprene gauntlet, which is going to be, very similar to the wetsuit material. It's basically designed to eliminate the chances of you getting too much serious bite marks and punctures, and pretty much tries to minimize pinching actions. So if a dog does actually bite you, it should get a mouthful of neoprene before it actually gets a mouthful of your skin.
What about this one?
Ooh, that one? What you wear in my closet? This is my Halloween costume. This one's not used for anything. but I hope you guys got a couple little ideas of all the different kind of products out there. This is obviously just a small little introduction to them. A very important point that Mike just brought up here is that the way we use these gloves, no matter whether you're using the most basic glove or something that's a lot more heavy gauge, we try and keep our hands closed, because if we're working with an aggressive animal, we know that we're going to have a high probability of getting a bite, some kind of bite's going to happen. You're going to really decrease the chances of serious injury by keeping a very closed fist. When you have a finger out there, even the smallest dog gets that finger and starts tweaking on it, you're going to get a broken digit,
finger,
you could get it hyperextended, a lot of damage could happen here, folks. I've been bit by small dogs and big dogs. If it's just a single finger, they're all going to have the equal leverage of being able to do some serious damage on those fingers.
Yeah, you could even if a dog can't get through the protective lining, they can still actually remove. You can lose a finger if you get bit, directly on the finger. It gets caught in the mouth the right way.
That's a bad surprise once you take off the glove. All of a sudden, whoop! Where's that finger? It's inside the glove still. It didn't actually bite through it, but the actual trauma could remove the finger. So keep a closed fist, keep an open mind, and try and be as safe as possible when you're out there working with these animals.
So, yep. So, all right. I guess that's pretty good. I don't think I have anything to add, or else we can cover it pretty good. Yeah. Keep those fists closed. Until next time, I'm Mike DeBruzzo.
And I'm Earl Dunn.
And we're the Dog Training Guys.